Okay, so we've got this time quadrilateral with the centre of enlargement inside the shape again, but this time we've got to enlarge it by scale factor of a half. Well, what does that mean? Well, simply the enlarged shape is going to be smaller. Yeah, it's going to be half the size of it. All right, and we use the word enlarge. Enlarge doesn't necessarily always mean bigger, okay? It can sometimes make it smaller as well, okay? Depends on what the scale factor is. So this time we're going to halve it. Now, quite simply again, because all you've got to do is, right, focus on the centre of enlargements, see what you've got to do to get to each corner point. So here, you've got to go down 2, haven't you? Well, if you're going to halve that, okay, because the scale factor is a half, instead of going down 2, you're going to go down 1. So we're going to go there. To get to that corner point, I've got to go down 2, back 4. Well, I'm going to halve that. So instead of going down 2, I'm going to go down 1, and then I'm going to go back 2 instead of going back 4. So I'm halving it. For that corner point there, I've got to go back 4, up 4. Well, halving it, back 4, sorry, back 2, up 2. So I'm going to go there. And then this corner point, to get to that corner point, well, I've got to go across, what is that, 4, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 6. So across 4, up 6. Well, I got to halve that. So across 2, up 3, and I'm going to end up there. Okay, so you've got to be careful here because the shape is smaller. So you've got to take note of where the points are. So we're just going to join them up, and we'll get a shape which is half the size. Okay, where the lengths are half of the original shape. So it's been enlarged there by scale factor of half. Okay, right. Again, we could be asked here, okay, enlarge the triangle using centre 0, 0 by scale factor of a half. So in this case here, here's my centre of enlargement, the origin. So quite simply, I need to see how do I get from here to each of the corner points. So let's focus on that one. So you've got to go across 10, up 4 to get from the centre here. Okay, across 10, up 4. Well, if we halve it, we're going to go across 5, up 2. So we end up here. And then if you want, you've got that corner point corresponding to that corner point there. What you can do then is notice that that is a vertical side there of length 4. Well, let's halve it. We're going to halve the sides, and we can literally draw the shape here. Okay, so it's going up 2, and then across 2. Well, we're only going across 1, and then we've got our third side there, the hypotenuse there, and you can see we've got our enlarged shape of scale factor half. One interesting thing you can do as well, right, is the corner points that correspond to one another. If you join them up with a straight line, okay, and keep going with that straight line, so we could, that point corresponds to that point there, and do the same then with this point, corresponds to that point there. So join it up the straight line, and the same then with that corner point there, where the right angle is, join it up with the corresponding side there, the corresponding point there. Notice they'll all cross at the center of enlargement. Okay, that's going to help us with the next one, because it says here, describe fully the transformation which maps triangle A onto triangle B. Now I want you to notice from A to B, it's been enlarged, doesn't it? Okay, it's got bigger, so it's an enlargement. Okay, now the scale factor you need to put as well. So what's happened to it to get from A to B? What's happened to the length? Look at the sides. That's all you're going to do. What's happened to the length? Well, that's of length 1, and it's been enlarged to length 2. That's of length 2, and it's been enlarged to length 4. So scale factor 2, yeah, it's doubled. But we also need the center of enlargement. Okay, we also need that to get the full marks. So how do we get the center of enlargement? So we need a coordinate. Well, just like I did in the previous question, join the corresponding points together with a straight line. So that point corresponds to that point on the triangle. Okay, so be careful here with this. And join it, and then just create a line as long as possible so it fits on the grid. That right angle there corresponds to this right angle point here on A. So join that there, and then the same then with that corner point of the shape, the final corner point, join that with the other one, and you can see, look, they all cross here. So my centre of enlargement will be 2, 3. Okay, across 2, up 3.